Hi all, I wanted to give a quick how-to on participation since mine's a little different than some of you might be used to. Okay, sometimes participation requirements may change, I don't think so, but if you have a question, definitely refer to the most recent participation chart and requirements in the instructor policies, right? Okay, so first of all, everybody will see a participation chart. This typically shows up in the classroom messages and in participation feedback when I submit it to you at the end of the week, usually around Tuesday, because then everybody has everything in. Okay, so here's a chart. I find this really helpful. So it just says specific name of whom you're responding to or mention the starter of the thread. So let's say I'm going to respond to Jamaica. So I would just start the thread with Jamaica. Or I might say, Jamaica, awesome post. Or I might say, Jamaica, you just really made me think about this topic and I wanted to explore it further. If I'm responding just to the top discussion thread, so maybe it's a question on organs, I would just say, hey, this discussion thread made me think about whatever. So just the word, the name of the person you're responding to in there somewhere, or just mention that you are responding to the thread. You need to have 150 words. When you type your post in, you'll see on the, I believe it is the lower left-hand corner, just ignore that, fun times. I refuse to update Java at the moment. But you'll see in the lower left-hand corner, I believe it is, a word count. And that will tell you if you have enough words. You need to have 150. So just check this, 150. A full reference citation. This is a full, let's actually add in there, a full APA reference, let's make it section citation. So it's going to be last name of the author, comma, first initial, parentheses, the date, title, italicized, retrieved from wherever. You'll have reference citation generator. There's a link to it in all the assignments. It's also under the library thread. It's really, really useful. You'll see handouts for this specifically in the classroom messages thread. The reason I require this is on papers, if you're lacking a reference, it will typically lead to a 0 on the entire assignment. And if you did cite someone, just forgot the reference citation, which can happen very easily, you will be charged for plagiarism and potentially reported to the university. So we just want to get into the practice of always citing information in our participation and getting that up to perfect so that when you do the papers, it's no big deal, it comes easy. You end your post with a concluding question. This can be anything. You know, it could just be like, say I'm talking about organelles. So I might say, well, what's your favorite organelle? Or I might have learned something really interesting about the mitochondria and there's something I didn't get to talk about. So I might ask a question about that because I might be thinking, hey, if no one else answers this question, I might come back and answer it later because I just really found this interesting. It's just a little question. Make sure it has a question mark. Put it toward the end of the post, typically separate, just so I'm awake and notice it. And then on topic, just like, remember, we don't talk about religion in this class. We know that evolution happened, so as long as you talk about humans, biology, organisms, you're most likely going to be on topic. Very rarely are you off topic. On topic, though, will also include tone. If for some reason, maybe you're just not awake yet, it's grumpy morning, you seem a little rude in the forums, it can happen. I'll let you know via private message. I want you to delete it and just update it to sound friendly. Because I know before my caffeine I'm grumpy. I just try to type and smile while I'm typing. It makes everything sound happier. And we want this to be an open, friendly, safe place where everyone can talk about ideas. So I don't have a problem with being a devil's advocate and being like, well, I saw you said this. What do you think about this opinion? Totally awesome. We want to be friendly, respectful. That's also why we use that name of who we're responding to, because let's say if I start off the post saying, that was awesome, I was thinking about it this way, it makes everyone say, hey, you know what, I did do an awesome job, thank you, and I want to know what you had to say. I want to see what your conclusion is. What's your question? Let me know. And also the reference, like I can look at someone else's reference and be like, gosh, I can't find anything on this topic. Oh, you know what, they cited the CDC. You know, maybe I should look into the CDC and see what they have. So it's just a really great way to compile a good source, a good library of sources. Okay, so there you go. You have to do these participation posts 8 days, or 8 substantive posts, sorry, for across 3 days. You can do more days, but you can't do less for full credit. Got it? If you do, for some reason, miss something in a post, I will send you a message. Let me pause this for 1 second. Oh yeah, really quickly, you'll also see in class messages and I believe your private messages, I have a little example here of what's substantive. Obviously this is way wordier, but this would be like, you know, a 4-star post, right? Because it says, here's the person I'm responding to, called them alpha, I said some stuff, I used a quotation, which you're allowed to have really long quotations and participation. However, in a paper, I want to see paraphrasing and no super long quotations, right? So, but participation, we don't have quite the same amount of time. So then there's an in-text citation, because we're just so amazing. Great concluding questions and an awesome reference, okay? You'll notice I typically will put my questions in red at the bottom of my post. You're not required to do this, but it's always a nice way of doing it. And when I'm quoting somebody, it's not here, but it will typically be blue, okay? So let's go back to what I was talking about. So if you do get a U, don't freak out. It happens all the time, especially in week 1. What you're going to do is I'm going to send you a note in week 1. After week 1, you're going to have to ask me if you need a little bit of extra help understanding what you missed. But typically, by week 1, by the time it's over, you'll have this skill down. So just keep trying. Don't give up. So it's going to say, great post, and here's what you do. 1, you're going to leave the original U post there. So don't delete it, don't do anything, because that holds that day. It says you participated on this day, and that won't change. And you want to make sure you get those 3 days. Then 2, it's probably highlighted in yellow, is going to tell you what you missed. So maybe you missed an acknowledgement, concluding question, maybe you didn't quite meet the word count, or you missed the reference. And it will tell you exactly which one, and it also reminds you about the reference citation generator. Always, doesn't matter what you missed, I just remind you, just so you know it's there, because I love it so much. And number 3, so what you're going to do is you'll reply to the U post, right? It tells you reply to that with whatever you missed. So say I forgot to acknowledge a person. All I have to do is reply to my U post with thanks for a great job, Heather, right? Or thanks for a great post. If I missed a concluding question, I reply to my U post with just a question like how much salt is in the ocean? If I missed 150 words, I'm going to have to figure out how many words I had, and you add that. Just add enough. So maybe I have 70 words, so I need to add another 80. Okay, between the two. And then a full reference section citation. Maybe I only put a link because I just spaced out. So now I just go back, run that through the reference citation generator, get my reference, and just plunk that as a reply. So really, really simple. And then finally, let me know when you do this. Okay, and I will go back and turn it into a U, the U into an S. Well, really, you only need to let me know if it's a previous week. So if you're posting on week 1, remember all week 1, you're going to week 1 you post in the week 1 threads for credit, right? Week 2 you're going to post in the week 2 threads. Week 3 you're going to post in the week 3 threads. So say it's week 2, you didn't realize you did a U, you go back, you find that U, and you can update it. Not a problem in week 1. Just let me know because I might miss that you updated something, and I want to make sure that I go back, update it, and then update your grade as well. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, so there's participation. Hopefully this helps. If you have questions, I would recommend starting the process and knowing that it's probably going to lean. If you're not sure what to do, you might get a couple U's, and we'll work together for you to figure out how to get that perfect S. Now remember, education is learning. We embrace the learning curve. This is going to seem like a big pain in the butt, but once you get this down, it's going to make your papers go so much faster. And if you continue this skill in future classes, your teachers are going to be amazed that you're able to do this. It's going to help your research, it's going to help your paper writing, it's going to help your citations. It's a really important skill to learn. So that's why I put so much effort into explaining it and the requirements that I have. Hopefully this will help make that step a little easier. Thank you.